Quite literally, it's furniture that's tens of thousands of years in the making. New exhibition is opened at Square Edge, the House of James, and here is its author, founder, creator, Tim.
Hi,
How are
Richard.
you?
Yeah, well, thank you.
Look, this is startling stuff. Huge pieces of furniture, and when it's 10,000 years in the making, how does that happen?
Well, the trees themselves were 2,000, up to 2,000 years old at the time they were felled by some cataclysmic events, or up to 50,000 years ago. So they've been lying buried in the swamps in Northland for up to 50,000 years. And we haul them out and turn them into something beautiful.
Well, you certainly do this. So there's an awful lot. Have you counted the rings in those trees?
No. It'll take me 50,000 years. No, they're the big cross-section slabs. You can see the rings fairly evident, and they tell the story of the tree. You can see the years where there was a lot of rain, when there were droughts, when the tree was hammered by winds. It all shows in like a fingerprint of the tree. So, but we've tried to really bring these trees to life again. I see them as fallen heroes, really. There were so many at one stage in the upper half of the North Island, and now maybe only 3% of the original forests remain. So digging these giants up and reusing them and bringing them to life and stripping away the exterior so we can see the beautiful grain in the wood is something quite special to me, that new life for something ancient.
Now, just tell me about the process of extracting the logs out of what was Northland Swamp. How do you locate the trees? Do you have people who do that for you, or do you go out and hunt them down for yourself? No,
it's quite a technical process actually to find these logs and unearth them at the right time of the year with very heavy equipment. So I tend to buy from cabinet makers, generally cabinet makers who have stacked the wood over the years and kept it in private collections. When they retire, they need to clear out the workshop. So I find large slabs of timber already dry, all ready to work. I don't have to go and find it as such. It's just a matter of freighting it down from Northland to the Manawatu.
I take it some of these trees, where they've fallen and are buried under tens of metres of topsoil and such, can be quite large.
Oh, yes. Well, Tane Mahuta is 45 metres tall, and he wasn't the tallest. So there's trees on record as being 65 metres tall and 40 feet in girth, so enormous pieces of wood.
Hard tree to hug.
Yeah, very difficult.
But not difficult to make beautiful pieces of furniture out of.
No, but time-consuming. The team of woodworkers, artisans really, that I work with specialise in traditional woodcraft. So the joints, the construction is all done by hand, and they're skills that are almost extinct in this country now. So if you count the time that it takes to source the lumber in the first place, to then do the design work, to do the construction phase and then the finishing phase, one piece can take several months to complete. So yes, it's a time-consuming process, but a real labour of love for the people that are involved in the woodwork.
Now, in terms of the design of the pieces, how does that process start for you?
It's very much driven by the shape of the piece of wood at hand. They're so unique, and the large slabs, particularly the slabs that are wide enough to make a dining room table out of, so we're talking a metre across, and some of these ones here 3 metres in length, are unusual, and the grain and the figuring in them dictates sort of how much should be used, how much should be cut away, and I'm a great fan of the free edges, so I like to have that juxtaposition of the rawness of the slab in its natural state, combined with very architectonic bases. And you'll notice in some of the pieces here, the bases are very architectural and structured and refined, and I think that works quite well. So I guess we're working hand in hand with nature, but it's a fairly interesting design process in that regard.
Now, you mentioned some of the construction techniques and joinery techniques, and just on the table that's behind you, there's this bow tie shaped join.
Yes.
I haven't seen that before.
Well, it's called a butterfly join, an inset butterfly, and it serves two functions. It's a structural joint for joining two pieces of lumber together, and in the table behind me we have two book-matched slabs, so they're consecutive cuts from a tree and laid open like a book, and then the butterfly joins down the centre hold those two together. It's an ancient joint. It predates written history. Wow. And I think it's beautiful too. So we've used it in an aesthetic way to decorate these bits of furniture as well as performing a structural function. And it has another significance for me because it represents a fusion, hence the name of the exhibition, Fused. It's bringing together of our heritage and the workman's skills and the lumber with also a very contemporary look in terms of the design, the way it functions, and just the fact that it is functional art, so that dovetail or butterfly really brings all those elements together.
And so, well, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece, and in fact, they're all beautiful pieces. There's some less slab-oriented pieces of furniture as well here.
Yes, there is. We were quite conscious to include those pieces alongside the very rough, raw, monolithic pieces. My background's in vintage modernist furniture. For the last 10 years I've been trading with an online design gallery dealing in pieces from the 1950s and 60s, so I'm very fond of the modernist aesthetic, their ideals. I like the sort of very clean lines, stripped back, pared down, and I wanted to sort of incorporate those with our timber, with our Kauri, and I think that again that sort of nexus of contemporary and heritage is really interesting in those pieces too, and they may be more appealing, I think, for people that are vintage, modern and retro is very in vogue these days, and those sort of curvy shapes and nice silhouettes work really well with the slabs too, so something for everybody, I guess, I hope.
Well, they'll certainly get an eyeful when they come and have a look, and also you're not opposed to people actually touching the pieces as well, because there's quite a tactile element to them.
Yes, deliberately so. I can completely no. We really want people to be able to touch them. They've been finished in a natural beeswax, so they've got a very sort of silky feel to them. They smell lovely. The sort of serrated rough edges on the tables are, you can run your hand along without fear of getting a splinter. It's all been very well sanded and finely finished. But just to get, I find it's a sort of an innate reaction when you see these things and want to lay your hand on it. And at the end of the day, we're after that connection with nature and putting people back in touch with our heritage, in a new way, a new slant on modernism, I guess.
Now, the exhibition is enhanced by some decorations. One piece in particular, this what's a giant a giant wooden vase. What is that?
Yes, it's a black palm tree from Indonesia. They grow along the beaches there. You'll see on the postcard pictures with the giant palms. That's yes, as you say, that's a piece of decoration that we've included as a prop. we're not only designing and producing furniture, but we do interior design at House of James, so we wanted to showcase the way some of these other pieces work alongside this current range of design. So in that regard, my wife's works are exhibited on the walls, her oil paintings, so it all works really nicely together.
Yes, that very big, bold oil paintings, the Tuatara of the octopus and the rooster.
The Tuatara has a really sort of close connection, I think, with the prehistoric nature of this Kauri furniture, and the other two pieces are just very vibrant in colour, and it's a nice counterpoint to the woody nature of the rest of the pieces. So and yeah, just sparkles. I think they're fantastic.
Enlivens the walls no end. And then there's the collection of T-squares.
Yes, yeah, vintage wooden T-squares. I had so much fun collecting those together. At heart, I'm a collector, and I love to go to the op shops and garage sales and second-hand marts and scavenge for these pieces. And they have a real family connection for me. There's one there from my father, and one from my cousin, and one from an uncle in Whanganui, and several others from local second-hand shops, and I think they're just a very graphic, abstract element when grouped together on the wall, and it really reflects the sort of architectural nature of some of the bits of furniture, like the big twin slab table in front of it, just going back to the drafting board and kind of reinventing something that has been there for so long and still lives on.
And bringing it all the way back is the old pre-chainsaw saw, which they used to fell these giants way back when, according to the poster that's behind us. That's the way they used to do it.
They did, and an axe, much like the axe you chop up your kindling with for the fire. So amazing, really, to see the size of those trees and the tools that they were using to fell them. I don't know how long it took, but that particular saw came from the back of my brother's barn, and was in a bit of a state when I got hold of it. But again, I think it's quite nice. For me, it's important to have those sort of pieces of history that are something special, and bring them in, fuse them together, I guess, with everything else that's going on. It's a bit of a story, a narrative that I particularly enjoy.
So Fused is at Square Edge until when?
Till the 13th of August. Their hours, well, there's a cafe here, open till 4 or 5 most days, and I think they're here early in the morning from about 7:30 onwards, so 7 days a week you can come in and see this work.
Come in and enjoy it. Bring a chair over, sit down at the table, though do be careful of the finish.
But do handle it though, you'll really enjoy it.
Tim, thanks, it's a great exhibition.